in the Southeastern Conference. The Gators of Florida back in the national rankings, and their fans with reason to believe again. Today they tangle with the nation's third-ranked team and a quarterback who leads the league in passing yardage. Undefeated Ole Miss of the SEC West. Undefeated Florida of the SEC East, and a lot on the line in the Swamp next. And we welcome you to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Hilton. Gainesville, Florida, the Swamp, in our matchup. A couple of undefeateds, third-ranked Ole Miss and the number 25 Gators of Florida. As you take a look at the SEC standings, these two teams are at the top of the heap right now. Georgia's losing to Alabama, so Florida, for the time being, doesn't have to share the top spot in the East. And Ole Miss and LSU still perfect in the West. Florida, first time in 4 years that they have been, first time in 3 years, I should say, that they've been 4-0. And here come the Gators. Counterparts from Oxford. Coach Freeze holding them back and letting them go. Here come the Rebels. There were years when Ole Miss wouldn't even draw boos from the Florida fans. Welcome, everybody. Brad Nessler with Todd Blackledge. You know, partner, for decades it seems like we come down here, Florida's in the top 5. Ole Miss is kind of hanging around trying to be in the top 25. Well, that script now has switched and flipped. Yeah. And it's the Rebels everybody's chasing, and Florida gets their shot today. And a big game in this stadium again. There hasn't been a matchup of ranked opponents here since 2012. All of Gator Nation hoping that their team is back. The comeback win last week against Tennessee made Florida relevant again. Yeah. A win today would make them for real. They've got the defense to hold them in it. The problem is their offense good enough against this very fast Ole Miss defense? Well, Ole Miss doesn't have any problem on offense, scoring 55 a game, and they got a red-hot quarterback. Yeah, Chad Kelly came from East Mississippi Junior College, started his career at Clemson, was removed from the team. Hugh Freeze knew he was taking a chance with Kelly. So far, everything is coming up aces for both of them in Oxford. He's a very confident quarterback. He has confidence in his arm and arguably the best wide receiver group in all of college football. He loves to press the ball down the field. We've seen Florida use 2 quarterbacks so far through the month of September. How's October going to turn out? With more on that, here's Holly Rowe.
Well, there is a chance we will see both quarterbacks for Florida tonight. That's because on Wednesday, the guy that Jim McElwain had named the starter this week, Will Grier, came down ill in a meeting Wednesday afternoon. He has been treated Wednesday. He missed Thursday's practice. I just spoke with Jim McElwain, the coach of the Gators, about 27 minutes ago, and he still wasn't sure if they would go with Grier or Treon Harris, his backup. Grier did just run out with the team in the tunnel. There was a chance they would give him another IV right before coming back out. If Grier can't go, Treon Harris practiced all week, and the coaches say he had a great week of practice. So keep your eye on the quarterback position, guys. That gastrointestinal stuff that's been going around here, about 21 players have been affected. We'll keep our eye on who's getting hydrated, who's getting help on the sideline. All right, it's that thing where people say, hey, it's going around. It was going around Gainesville. Jim McElwain, his first season as a Florida head coach after a couple of successful seasons as a head man at Colorado State. And Hugh Freeze in his 4th year. And boy, the miracles that he has done with great recruiting and now a great football team that's got more depth than they probably ever had in a long, long time. First time these two teams have both been ranked in this matchup since 1958. My partner wasn't around, and I was in short pants. This will be fun. And you can tell already by the crowd when Florida took the field that, as Todd said, their fans wanting so desperately to believe that they're back, they're relevant. Ole Miss won the toss and deferred, so Florida will get the football first as well. And now let's just watch and listen to the fans in Ben Hill Griffin Stadium.
Nathan Noble to kick off. Brandon Powell is deep for Florida. Here we go. Powell, 2 yards deep. Across the 20, out to the 25. And that's where the Gators offense will go to work. It's going to be Will Grier at quarterback. Redshirt freshman from Davidson, North Carolina, holds the national high school record in one game, 837 and 10 touchdowns. Are you kidding? His dad was a quarterback, too, at Richmond in East Carolina.
Well, last week in the comeback against Tennessee, an unusual game for him. He started off very average, 12 of 24, 142 yards, an ugly interception. And then with about 8 minutes left in the game, he just completely turned the page and became a different quarterback and led them to 2 fourth-quarter touchdown drives in the win.
Career high 283 through 4 last week, and a lot of that, as Todd said, was in the fourth quarter. Straight ahead and no gain on the play for Kelvin Taylor. As we take a look at our Chick-fil-A impact players on the night, Kelvin Taylor will have to be one, coming off a 2-touchdown, 100-yard-plus performance a week ago. Robert Kondichi, great guy on the inside. He creates havoc at that defensive tackle spot. And Trey Elson in the back end, 3 interceptions, 2 of them returned for touchdowns already this year. Second down at 10, and Grier in the shotgun. Ole Miss will blitz. Quick throw out in the flat. Not much gain there. The tight end, Jake McGee. And it's going to be 3rd and long.
Well, the trademark of this Ole Miss defense for the last couple of years under Dave Womack, the defensive coordinator, they're built for speed, very fast, and they are ball hawks. For the last year and currently this year, leading the SEC in forced turnovers. That's what they thrive on, and they're excellent on 3rd down.
10 forced turnovers already this season, including 7 interceptions. And I'm sure that's in the back of Will Grier's mind on 3rd down and 9. High snap. Here comes the heat. He's not going to get away, and down he goes. Marquise Haynes off the edge.
Well, they brought a couple people and dropped the defensive lineman. They brought pressure, and they're so fast getting to the quarterback. Haynes got there, and so did the linebacker, C.J. Johnson. C.J. Johnson was a defensive end the first 3 years of his career. He plays linebacker on 1st and 2nd down, defensive end on 3rd down. They got to the quarterback.
So a quick 3 and out for Florida. Johnny Townsend, you look behind him as he'll punt away. Nice kick. Beautiful kick. Carlos Davis way back at the 20 and buried at the 15. Lost yardage on the return. Chris Thompson, great punt coverage. A 58-yard punt and a 5-yard knockback to about the 15-yard line. Well, Todd talked about Chad Kelly, his Uncle Jim, a Hall of Famer, of course. Started off at Clemson for a couple of years, dismissed from the team in 2014, then East Mississippi Community College and a junior college title. And then 2 weeks ago, really became big news when they beat Alabama for the 2nd straight year. So here's Chad and the offense from the 15.
Yeah, the good thing for Chad Kelly, he's already played in a very hostile environment in Tuscaloosa.
Look at that yards per completion, 17 plus. Walton on the inside, he goes for about 3. As we take a look on the other side at our Chick-fil-A impact players. For the Rebels, Laquan Treadwell. We had the game where he had that gruesome injury last year. He's back and healthy. Vernon Hargraves, a great cornerback, and Bullard, like Kondichi, can disrupt things on the defensive front. That's Jared Davis, who came in there, and Ole Miss is now back at its own 8-yard line.
Yeah, they brought Jeremy Liggins in to be an extra blocker as a tight end, and he just let the linebacker run right past him. We talked about Ole Miss's defense being fast. Florida's defense every bit as fast.
And the Gator faithful hungry already because it's 3rd down and 17. And that's going to be a noisy end of the field as Chad Kelly's almost at his own goal line. Liggins in there on the wing. From the goal line, Kelly has to pump fake, and he's going to have to eat this one. Got back across the 10, and that's all.
See, I think this Florida defense is a more difficult matchup for Chad Kelly and Ole Miss than Alabama's was, because they are best at throwing the football, and Florida is a better pass rushing defense than Alabama was. Alabama very stout against the run, not great pass rushing. Florida excels at rushing the passer.
came in with 14 sacks, though that won't go as one because he picked up a couple of yards. It still forces Will Gleason to kick. And the left footer gets it out. It's only going to make it to about midfield, but take a nice bounce for the Rebels and go out around the 39-yard line. So neither team could muster anything on offense. Second chance coming up. The Gators are blessed they won the national championship. And Tim's got that famous speech outside the stadium now, along with his Heisman Trophy statue. Right now the Gators have good field position. After that punt, Greer on a bootleg. Fires, got his man into Ole Miss territory to Demarcus Robinson. And a pickup of 15.
See, that's what you have to do to a defense like this. Misdirection and throw on early downs. Get that speed defense running one way, come out the other way with a quarterback bootleg. Good decision by Greer, finding the open man down the field.
First down at the 47 of the Rebels. It'll be Powell coming out of the backfield. The handoff is straight ahead to Taylor. And Taylor, nice run. Inside the 41 on a pickup of 6.
Very important for Florida's offense to do two things today. Number one, protect the ball. Again, Ole Miss leads the SEC in forcing turnovers, giving their offense a short field. And they got to play field position. And that last time they had the football, they got the great punt. They gained 14 yards in the exchange of kicks. And now their offense in good position in Ole Miss territory.
Two tight ends, part of a bunch set on the left side on second down at 4. In the pistol, quick toss, Taylor. Upended at the line of scrimmage, might have gotten a yard out of it. Mike Hilton made the stop, and he's made a lot of stops. In fact, he's got the number 38 jersey in honor of Chucky Mullins. They don't just give that to anybody.
Third and manageable for Florida. They didn't convert their first third down, but when they're 3rd and 1 to 5 on the season, they're 50%. When it gets more than 5 yards, they've struggled.
And of course, they're perfect on 4th down.
Yeah. You don't want to get to that. You don't want to make a living doing that.
Right. On 3rd and 3, quick throw out wide receiver screen. Robinson. Nice second effort. I think he got it. He did. He was going to lose about 3, but he got away from the first tackler.
Well, the first tackler was A.J. Moore, who is a guy replacing Tony Connor. One of the biggest losses that this Ole Miss team is suffering right now. Tony Connor, injured in the Alabama game, out at least 4 games. And A.J. Moore, a very talented player, but inexperienced, and that time not able to wrap up the tackle. And Florida gets the conversion.
Tony Connor, a really good player, a junior. As Todd said, they'd like to have him back in a month at MCL. The injury 2 weeks ago. Play action. Greer off his back foot, fires deep. Man's there. Got it. Touchdown. Demarcus Robinson. He had Robert Condici right in his chin strap, and he's still got enough on that pass for a 36-yard touchdown. George Powell for the extra point. Up and good. Just over 9 minutes remaining in the first quarter. A 5-play drive, covered 61 yards. 36 of it was right here and right on the money. Gators 7-0. Good throw, good hands, Ledge.
Well, this is an incredible throw because Nkemdiche is right there, and he is going to be all in the face of the quarterback. But here's what you got to watch. The safety, Mike Hilton, as he comes over to help, he takes a bad angle. He goes past the flight of the football, and Demarcus Robinson ran right to the ball for the touchdown. The corner, Tony Bridges, expecting the safety to help. The safety, who's a very good player, Mike Hilton, took a bad angle to the football, and Will Greer, under pressure, off his back foot, put it right on the money.
First touchdown they've given up. They had come in having outscored their opposition 65-3 in the first quarter. Look at the numbers on Will Grier tonight. Perfect, including the 36-yard touchdown strike to DeMarcus Robinson, who had the big fourth quarter last week in the comeback over Tennessee, and a big first quarter already here. As we check in for the first time tonight with Adnan Virk. Different shade of orange, but they're going pretty wild here too. Florida with a touchdown lead. Ole Miss from the 25.
Very active defensive front. This guy right here, Jonathan Bullard, number 90. He plays inside and outside. A disruptive force, having a great start to the season.
Kelly, the handoff. Nice run by Walton. Jalen, not the biggest guy in the world, but very productive from that tailback spot. And he picked up 6 yards.
He had 133 yards on 21 carries last week against Vanderbilt. 215 all-purpose yards. Very versatile back.
Just inside the 32. It'll be 2nd and 3. The ball is out. Florida's got it. Brian Cox Jr.
Well, it just was not a clean exchange between Kelly and Walton. The ball was never cleanly handed off. It popped up in the air, and Brian Cox just grabbed it out of the air. We talked about Ole Miss being an opportunistic defense, creating turnovers, giving their offense a short field. Florida with a huge play by their aggressive defense.
And his daddy tonight in Atlanta in meetings for the Falcons before they play the Houston Texans tomorrow and said, that's just like I used to do it.
Well, it's funny. We talked to Jeff Collins yesterday. The coordinator, he says, he's describing him. He says, high motor, relentless, plays hard every play. So, man, that's just like his dad.
Exactly.
Played the same way.
His dad, Brian, defensive line coach in Atlanta and a great player for 12 years in the NFL. So Florida setting up shop at the 24, courtesy of that guy.
And I think you have to be in attack mode. Doug Nussmeier, the offensive coordinator, be in attack mode because you need touchdowns to beat Ole Miss.
You take a shot right here then. Play action. A throwback screen. Taylor couldn't handle it.
Boy, they had it too.
They had it.
They had, again, a fast defense, misdirection. Get them running one way and then throw something at them the other way. And they had it because Taylor had 2 blockers out in front. But Will Grier just not able to get enough on that football.
He was getting some pressure, and it was a hard throw with not being able to plant his feet back that way. So it'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Again, 2 tight ends in there, and McGee and Goolsby. And they just shift over from one side to the other. Straight handoff to Taylor. Boy, he's got a quick burst in the hole there. Nice run, picked up 7. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Well, great job blocking by the right tackle. Mason Halter, number 75, just crashed down that side of the Ole Miss defense. Opened up a gaping hole for Kelvin Taylor. And another 3rd and manageable situation. This is where they need to try to stay against Ole Miss.
13 touchdowns in their red zone offense this year. Right now they're back in there at the 18-yard line. 3rd down and 3. Taylor flushes out of the backfield, empty set. Quick throw, complete to the tight end. 1st down, McGee.
The tight ends, a big part of the offense with head coach Jim McElwain. Already through 4 games, they are surpassing what the tight ends have done the last couple years combined. Big targets, good hands, athletic guys in both Jake McGee and DeAndre Goolsby. They also have a 3rd tight end, Seontae Lewis, who's hurt and not playing tonight. But that group of tight ends, very big part of this Florida pass offense.
1st and 10 for the Gators at the 13. Callaway in motion now, sets up on a wing left. It's straight ahead. Taylor cuts it outside. Taylor inside the 2.
Nice block by both the tight ends. We talked about it being receivers. Watch the block by Goolsby on the corner, and the other tight end, McGee, blocked down inside. They're valuable receivers. They're getting better as inline blockers. That time, they did a great job on the edge of the Ole Miss defense.
An 11-yard run. It's 1st and goal. We showed you a graphic a little bit earlier Kelvin Taylor has touchdown runs in 4 straight games. He might have another shot right here. They fake it to him. Wide open touchdown, McGee.
Boy, I love this. I love the aggressiveness. Doug Nussmeier, Jim McElwain putting the ball in Will Grier's hands, and he's making great decisions with the football.
How about the start for Will Grier, huh? 2 touchdown passes, and we still got 6:48 to go in the quarter.
Maybe you should get the flu every week.
Extra point, it hits the upright, and it's no good. That's the only thing that has gone wrong for Florida so far tonight. First, bad exchange. Kelly to Walton, really never had it. The guy that did have it is number 94, Brian Cox Jr. And then play action, tight end wide open, 13-0 Florida. Head coach Mike White. Kevarius Hayes won the slam dunk contest. Mike's taking over for Billy Donovan, who of course had 2 national titles here and now is in the NBA with Oklahoma City. Right now, the Gator fans are loving every minute of quarter number 1. 13-0 over the 3rd-ranked team in the country. George Powell to kick. Jalen Walton just going to let it sail out. That'll give us a chance to look at how Florida's finding success tonight, brought to you by Expedia. Todd?
Well, they did it with great design. This is a defensive lineman, Joey Ivy. So Ole Miss is reading run all the way. Great ball fake by the quarterback. The linebackers reading run. And the tight end pops wide open in the back of the end zone, McGee. Formation, personnel, completely fooled the Ole Miss defense on 1st down on the goal line.
Actually, the umpire was closer to the tight end than anybody else covering it. Not bad. The final few drives against Tennessee, and then tonight for Will Grier. Now Chad Kelly's got to have an answer. They sweep with Markel Pack, and Pack's out of bounds after a pickup of 3.
Very important that Ole Miss does not panic and that they still try to establish balance in their offense. Again, Florida's defense different than Alabama's. Alabama very difficult to run on, particularly inside. Florida much better at rushing the passer and causing disruption in the backfield.
Again, a lot of hand signals. It's hard to hear for Chad Kelly in that offense down there. 2nd and 7 from the 28. He wanted to throw quick left. He goes back to the right to Walton, and Jalen's got a 1st down.
It's good patience by the quarterback, good pocket presence, reading the defense, and coming to a check down receiver and letting him make the 1st down with his legs.
First down for Ole Miss. Score a lot of points in the 1st quarter tonight. After giving up only 3 in the first 4 games, they've given up 13.
Chad Kelly has an outstanding arm. Really can throw the football down the field. He's had a lot of success throwing the ball beyond 10 yards down the field, and he's got big, rangy receivers that he has tremendous confidence in.
We showed you that graphic earlier. 17 yards plus per completion. That's just unbelievable, really. Whoa, bad snap. Kelly's got to chase it down inside the 20 and cover it. Robert Conyers, that looked like a punt snap and a loss of 19.
Well, they put a guy right over his nose, and I think it spooked him a little bit. He was worried about the block instead of worrying about the snap first, and it was high and outside. They lined up Brian Cox right over the center, and it really got to Robert Conyers. This offensive line, we haven't documented it yet, but it's not the line they thought they were going to start the season with.
Play action. He's got time to throw. He finds Laquan Treadwell for the first time after the 25-yard line. Only a pickup of 6, though.
When this season started, Ole Miss expected to have the most experienced offensive line returning in the SEC West, but it hasn't worked out that way. Through injuries, through Laramie Tunsil not being able to play because of NCAA.
Kelly running for his life. He's going to run with the ball as well. Tried to fake a pass after he's about 10 yards over the line of scrimmage. One Florida guy bought that, not the other one. He did get 18 on the scramble, and that'll help the punt and the field position a little bit.
We talked about this is what they expected to be the starting offensive line. Tunsil's out. Ron Taylor's out with injury. I mean, it's just Cooper had to move over here. It's all, you know, it's like diagramming a play. So this is what it is tonight. And it's, as you can notice, a couple young guys in there trying to hold their own.
Punt coming. If it gets a good roll, I guess it'll be a good punt. I'm not crazy about those rugby punts, but at any rate, that wasn't a very good one either. 30-yard punt. Florida takes over with a 13-point lead when we come back. Thanks, Adnan. Welcome back to the SEC on ESPN from Gainesville, Florida. Brad Nessler, Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe. We kind of had a discussion before the game with Ohio State struggling a little bit. Michigan State likewise. Maybe Ole Miss at number 3 could jump everybody and be number 1 in the country. They better just worry about winning this game right now. They're down 13. First down for the Gators from the 27.
New center in for Florida right now. Their normal left guard, Trip Thurman, number 63, has moved over to center in placing Cameron Dillard, and Martez Ivey is the left guard.
Taylor, another 5. We take a look at this week's AP Top 10 rankings brought to you by Capital One. Here's what we were talking about. So a touchdown win for Ohio State, a field goal win for Michigan State. Ole Miss obviously having all kinds of trouble in the one you're watching. TCU had no trouble. Trevon Boykin went off for, I don't know, 5 or 6 touchdown passes. Baylor 63 they put up today. Georgia lost to Alabama badly on their home field in Athens. So Alabama will jump back into the top 10. You would think Georgia will fall out. Taylor close to a first down.
Well, right now, these tight ends, the different personnel groups with the tight ends formations are keeping this Ole Miss defense off balance. They're throwing to them, and they're doing a nice job blocking on that play again. Both Goolsby and McGee doing a nice job blocking for Taylor.
And on top of those tight ends, Todd, even though this offensive line doesn't have a great deal of playing experience, all 5 guys have started all 4, now 5 games on the season. It's nice to have that kind of cohesiveness. Everybody in tight on 1st and 10. They fake the toss on a bootleg. Greer fires. Wow. What a catch by DeMarcus Robinson. One hands it. Pickup of 16.
Second time they've run the bootleg. They have an underneath receiver and a deep receiver. They sell the fake. You've got underneath and deep. And the second time in a row, Greer hits the deep receiver, but you get that defense running one way, throw back the other way, and that's tremendous concentration by DeMarcus Robinson.
That doesn't make the top 10 plays tonight. There's been some really good catches earlier today. That was a beauty. First down to the 47. Calvin Taylor, a little quick opening draw that did not open up, courtesy of Braylon Speaks. A loss of 3.
Again, both of these defenses thrive on creating negative plays, tackles for loss. That was the first one registered by this Ole Miss defense.
Robert Kindici on the sideline, and Speaks, the guy that took his place, is the one that made the play. So it's back right at the midfield stripe. Second down at 13.
Good balance so far for the Florida offense. 9 runs, 8 passes.
4 wideouts this time, 2 to each side. Ole Miss showing blitz, and Florida got a false start. David Sharp, I think, moved.
Yep. False start. Number 78 offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
That's the first penalty of the game.
David Sharp, the left tackle, a sophomore. Martez Ivey, a true freshman out of Florida, is playing left guard right now, a guy that they are really high on. He was the backup left tackle, has played a lot at left tackle. He's in there at left guard right now with Thurman in at center.
He was considered about the best line recruit in the state of Florida last year. Greer, look out from the backside. Down he goes, ball's out, but it's covered by David Sharp. DJ Jones coming around the corner.
Well, you just have to have that clock go off in your head as your quarterback. Step up in the pocket. He could step up a little bit more and buy a little extra time instead of staying flat-footed. And that time, very lucky that his lineman was able to get back on the football. The thing they wanted to see Grier get better at, and so far tonight, until that play he has, is just moving in the pocket, creating more space for himself. That time he got a little flat-footed.
It's the first time they've been in this kind of situation. 3rd down and a mile.
Play field position.
Just a draw play to Taylor. He might change the field position a lot. He rips off 16 yards. So it's going to be 4th down, but only about 8. And now the punter can try to knock it inside the 10-yard line somewhere.
Take care of the football and play field position. That's what Florida has to do. Their defense has a good handle on the football game right now. Don't put them in a bad spot.
Johnny Townsend last week against Tennessee knocked 3 inside the 20. He would like to knock this one somewhere inside the 10-yard line. Carlos Davis will wait on him back there. He's standing at the 5. End over end kick. Davis takes it on a fair catch inside the 10. So a good punt, 37-yarder, and bad field position for the Rebels again.
Well, I think if you're Ole Miss right now, you got to think about trying to get the ball to Laquan Treadwell, number 1. Here he is right here. Get him in the game.
Kelly. Whoa, that's a nice pass. And that shows the kind of arm he's got as he got it out to Quincy Attaboy Joe for 22 yards.
A nice accurate throw on the run. Good job of moving the pocket also. This Florida defense has kind of got a bead on the pocket. Move your quarterback.
And the quarter comes to a close. All Florida. 1 turnover, 2 touchdowns, and a 13-0 lead here at the Swamp. We're checking it in. The SEC on ESPN. So we start quarter number 2 between the Rebels and the Gators, and the first 15 minutes belong to Florida. See if Chad Kelly and company could do something about it here early in the second. 1st and 10 from the 30. Jordan Wilkins in the backfield with Kelly now.
The other guy that is a weapon for Chad Kelly is Evan Ingram. He's a talented tight end that's a matchup problem inside. Florida has excellent corners with coverage skills. Keep an eye on Ingram.
Play action. Kelly flushed. Great catch by Treadwell. I'm not sure that one should have even been thrown, but he went up and snatched it.
See, that's what I mean. You have confidence in this receiving core that they're going to go up and make a play. He did this in the Alabama game. You throw a ball that you maybe shouldn't throw, but you trust your guy to make a play.
They come the other way now. Attaboy Joe, and he's got about 9 more. Jeff Collins, the defensive coordinator, talking with us yesterday at Florida, and says, you know, Kelly, with the receivers that he has, and we do have a flag down, says he throws more 50-50 balls than anybody I've seen in a while. That's because he knows they'll go up and get it like Treadwell did that last time.
Number 96 is the defense, lined up in the neutral zone. The penalties decline. There's only plays 2nd down.
C.C. Jefferson was offside.
I think that's a great quality in a quarterback, because that's what NFL quarterbacks have to do. You can't wait for a guy to get open. You have to throw a guy open and trust those guys to make a play on the ball.
Kelly's 5 for 5. He's got somebody in his face. As that one is caught too.
Another flag down too.
They're going to say out of bounds. Kelly got leveled as he threw. The pass was caught by Stringfellow, but he was out of bounds.
I think Florida was offsides again.
Jonathan Bullard is the guy that hit Kelly as he threw that. Here's a call.
Offside. Number 57 of the defense in the neutral zone of the snaps. 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
Okay, well, that's 2 of those.
Yeah. And they better figure out there was a protection breakdown because nobody blocked Bullard on that play. They got the penalty, but there was a mix-up on the right side of the offensive line for Ole Miss.
1st and 10 at the 41. Kelly will keep this one. And Chad, nice run, about 8 yards. Bullard is the guy that stopped him.
Nice call that time by Dan Werner, offensive coordinator. Matt Luke, co-coordinators. Last week against Tennessee, the Volunteers ran for 254 yards, 136 by quarterback Josh Dobbs. So the quarterback run was effective last week, and it was effective on that 1st down play.
Second and a long one. Wilkins trying to take it wide, does, picks up the first down, picks up some blocks, and he got it down around the 18-yard line.
In order to run on the perimeter, you have to have wide receivers that are willing to block. And both Attaboy Joe and Laquan Treadwell did a nice job of staying in front of their man, staying locked up, and getting the running back to the corner.
So a good-looking drive going. They started at their own 8-yard line. Well, it just went negative yardage on that one. Loss of 2. Antonio Morrison, the middle linebacker, who's the captain of the defense and maybe the most respected Gator on the squad. After coming back from knee surgery, about as fast or faster than Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
The guys say nobody worked as hard rehabbing to get back in the Gator lineup than he did.
They didn't expect that he should have been healthy until January, and he said, forget that, I'm playing this year. And he's played and played well.
7th play of the Ole Miss drive. Both backs, Wilkins and Judd, in there with Kelly. He wants to swing it out, and he goes instead incomplete, intended for Stringfellow. I thought he was going to throw it out in the flat, but he went to his wide receiver and misfired.
Laquan Treadwell working on the other side against Tabor. You know, Florida's not going to flip their guys. He's saying, look, I got this guy. It's not Vernon Hargreaves. Give me a chance to throw the football out here. I'll go get it for you. I'll use my big body, and I'll go get it. He's working on Jalen Tabor. I'd go right at him if it's single coverage.
Ole Miss has put themselves in a bad spot. All of their third downs have been 10 yards or more. 3rd and 12. Kelly fires, completes it down around the 12, I think, with forward progress to Stringfellow. But it's going to be short of the first down.
Well, you got to get on the scoreboard here if you're Hugh Freeze. You've had a good drive. You finally made some first downs. You got to get points on the board.
Gary Wunderlich will come out. He's 6 out of 7 on the year, but the one he missed was blocked. That was last week.
This was a problem for them a year ago, as you see, 116th in all of FBS. Much better this year.
Gary Wunderlich from the right hash to try to put points up for the Rebels. And he missed it by about a foot to the right. Still a problem for the Rebel special team. You can't let chances like this go off the board. It was close, but it was wide, and it's still 13-0.
As many as 21 players had some flu-like symptoms this week. I have checked off every single kid who was supposed to start, like a roll call, like a teacher in school, and everybody who was supposed to start has started and played in this game. Now, the big question is, will they have the stamina to stay in this game? They've got a big lead now, but Ole Miss runs about 70 plays per game. We will keep our eye on how this Gator team has stamina in the 4th quarter. Jim McElwain did say they were going to rotate guys on their offensive line just because of some of their concerns about the flu.
Holly call and roll just like a teacher. Yes, Miss Rowe. What a hit Taylor took right there, and a loss. DeMarcus Gates, nice play off the edge.
Yeah, real nice play. Ole Miss guessed right, anticipating run. Gates is going to come from right in here. He reads it because Florida went to an unbalanced line. And so they anticipated no pass. They shot the gaps, and a very nice play on first down by Gates.
You know, this Ole Miss defense right now is thinking, okay, our offense had a nice drive. We missed the field goal. We got to get this thing back right now and give them another chance. 2nd down at 13.
Negative plays on first down is the way to do it.
Greer almost dropped the snap. Quick throw is high but caught. Jake McGee, the tight end again, but not much of a gain, and will bring up 3rd down.
This is where Will Greer needs to be very smart. This is where Ole Miss so far this year has made a living. 3rd and long, creative blitz packages and coverages, good ball hawking defensive backs, and then turn the ball over and give their offense a short field. They've done it all season so far.
A 3rd down at 7 from the 23. Here's what the Ole Miss defense has done this year. On 3rd down. They show an extra man. They'll back out of the blitz. Throw, knocked down. Nice defensive play by Kendaris Webster on the corner.
Webster didn't hear the whistle. played through the end of the play. He's their best cover guy. He was in great position, made a nice play on the football. At this point, Webster obviously doesn't know the ball's out.
I was going to say, he doesn't know he doesn't have the football at that point. So, a little WWE takedown stuff there. Johnny Townsend will punt. This one might be returnable on the bounce. Now they just have to clear out of the way. And it will drop right there at the 31-yard line. Chad Kelly time. And the Ole Miss offense. Thanks, Adnan here. It's 13-0. Ole Miss fumble led to a touchdown. 4 plays of minus yardage. They've had trouble on third down because it's been third down and a mile. Missed a 29-yard field goal. You can't make those kind of mistakes no matter who you're playing. Much less a fired up Florida team on their home field. Short gain for Jalen Walton.
One of the guys playing on the inside right now for Florida in there. Taven Bryan, number 93. Really interesting guy. Very athletic guy. Raw talent.
Kelly, pressure from the backside. Got his tight end over the middle and a first down throw to Hunter Thurley. Nice patience by Kelly with some heat coming on the backside. He picked up 12 yards.
Nice route by the tight end, working on the linebacker, Gerard Davis. Turned him around.
First down, Rebels at the 45. Stringfellow and Cody Core, both wideouts to this side. Kelly in trouble, a lot of it. Not going to get away. Down he goes way back at the 30-yard line. Jordan Sherritt was the first guy, and then Antonio Morrison cleaned up.
They did a good job of staying in their contained position and not letting him break outside. Good discipline by the Florida defense, setting the edge and not letting the quarterback get outside on the perimeter.
So again, Ole Miss puts themselves in a long yardage situation, though this time it's on second down and 21. Wide out screen, complete out. Laquan Treadwell got the loss of yardage back, and it'll bring up third down and a long 10.
These negative plays, the Florida defense has been pretty good at that all year. Coming into the game, averaging 8.8 tackles for loss a game. Kind of on pace for another game like that tonight.
You think this group doesn't love third down and long? Talking about Gator fans. Kelly running out of time again, going down again. Third sack of the Ole Miss quarterback.
It's just a 4-man rush. Great coverage downfield, and the pocket just collapsed. Watch the pressure on the inside. It starts with number 57. Caleb Brantley is going to be the guy that gets there first. Runs right through, up the middle, and nowhere to go with the football for Chad Kelly.
The last punt only went 30 yards. Got a guy injured down it. Did that happen on the previous play, or did it just happen now? It just happened now, I think.
Well, that's Gerard Davis, their starting inside linebacker. They're already missing a starting linebacker. Alex Anzalone out for a few weeks.
You know, I think he was part of that last sack and might have got hit by his own guys and didn't realize that he wasn't feeling too good until out there on the punt team.
Well, I think he has a stomach ache.
I think, yeah, it might be a little lower than that, but I agree with you. So Gleason will punt with one foot or the other. This time the left. And would have been a good punt, but there's a flag down at the line of scrimmage.
False start on the offense. All 11 players did not get set prior to the snap. Fourth down.
Hugh Freeze, who's never been to the Swamp and in this stadium right now, he's wishing he wasn't here either. Things aren't going so well.
On On a big game, on a big night, there's no louder place in college football than right here in the Swamp.
Gleason, again, the left footer. Fielded at about the 19, and going down right there is Antonio Callaway. Slipped, took a knee. It'll be Florida on offense with a 13-point lead when we come back.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. We didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. And Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy.
The family of Chief Warrant Officer Christian Denkins just thought their husband and dad was on the Jumbotron until this happened. You can never get enough of those. What a moment for the Denkins family. Daddy's home. Nice. Florida 13-0, first down at the 19-yard line. Ole Miss unable to score so far, and Greer going long sideline, and it hit the back of Kendarius Webster, incomplete.
I'm kind of surprised, even though the ball was underthrown, Webster never made a play on the ball. There's contact, and Webster never makes a play on the football, runs right into the receiver and doesn't make a play on the football. That's pass interference. And that is clearly pass interference.
Bill LeMonnier is with us up in the booth. Bill?
You're absolutely right. He never made a play on the ball. He had early contact with him. That prevented the receiver from getting back to the ball.
So what should have been a first down is now 2nd and 10. High snap handled by Greer and given to Taylor. And Kelvin picks up 3. Talking earlier about Brian Cox Jr. and his dad being a great NFL player. So was Kelvin's dad, Fred. Kelvin, a junior out of Belglade, Florida, and he broke the high school rushing marks of the NFL's leading rusher, Emmitt Smith. And you can say you did that. You've had a pretty good high school career, and he's got a nice season going here for the Gators.
There's Kim Dietze right there. You got to be careful with him on 3rd down.
Extra man on the blitz, crossing route. It's Powell in the open field, and look out. He's even. He's leaving. Touchdown. .77 yards, touchdown.
Wow. Doug Nussmeier told us yesterday Brandon Powell still learning how to be a receiver. He was a running back. I'd say he's on a pretty fast track in class right now.
Florida will go for 2 here, having missed an extra point that hit the upright earlier.
Well, again, keep your eye on the tight ends, Goolsby and McGee. They're both on this side right here.
Greer, who's been brilliant in the shotgun, fakes the handoff, fires to the corner, and overshot to Marcus Robinson. So it's been a great night for Will Greer so far, and an unbelievable run after catch for Brandon Powell. Got it in some traffic. And then the traffic light turned green. 77 yards later, another Florida touchdown. 19-0 Gators. Takes you inside the drive. We look at that last touchdown that Will Greer, his 3rd of the night.
Well, 2 things to keep an eye on. This is A.J. Moore. This is Marquise Haynes. Moore's the guy replacing Tony Connor. He's in man coverage, and he's going to get beat. Marquise Haynes is an excellent pass rusher, but looked a little bit lost dropping into coverage, and he split the difference. A beautiful route by Powell, and a huge play. Probably should have been defended. Was not well defended by Ole Miss.
Taking you back to the 4th quarter last week, how about Greer's numbers? 20 out of 29, 302 yards, and 5 touchdowns. That's not bad.
Yeah. Got off to a poor start a week ago. A brilliant start tonight.
The kick to the 3-yard line of Walton. And he is hammered after an 18-yard run back by Showers on the special teams. Well, I don't think Ole Miss was coming in here and planning on being down 19-0. When you got a lead of 13 or more, most of the time you're going to win. Those folks that made the trek from Oxford are in shock right now.
Well, keep in mind, this is the highest scoring team in the SEC at 55 points per game. But they've got to eliminate the negative plays. So far, the Florida defense has racked up 6 negative plays, and that's put them in ridiculous third down situations all night.
Walton flushes out as a wide receiver as Kelly throws in some traffic. Should have been caught by Evan Engram. Might have been a little bit low, but catchable.
Now, very low. And, you know, he sat down in the zone. Chad Kelly a little early with that throw. Usually very accurate. That was not a good throw by Chad. Didn't step into it very well.
Walton trying to get to the edge. Does a nice job.
Boy, excellent blocking on the outside. Again, the inside running game of Ole Miss is not particularly strong because Walton is not an overly big back. But their perimeter run game is good because they have tight ends and wide receivers that are willing to block. Attaboy Joe and Treadwell both doing a great job out on the perimeter.
There's those two are, number 8 and number 1. Attaboy Joe and Treadwell.
First decent third down situation they've had yardage-wise.
Jordan Wilkins, the bigger back, is in there with Kelly. 212-pounder, and he got it. First down.
Prior to that play, they were third down and 17, 23, 12, and 11. They finally got something that they had a great shot at making. Now look for play action and a throw down the field for Chad Kelly.
There's the play action. There's the throw down the middle, and man, again, it looked like a whole bunch of orange jerseys to me, but he threaded it to Laquan Treadwell.
Well, I remember watching a practice last year and watching Laquan Treadwell with a jugs machine and just snatching the football out of the air from a short distance. He has incredible hands, and when you have a guy like that, with that kind of a body, you throw it in traffic.
First and 10 at the 44. We approach 5.5 minutes of the second quarter. Chad Kelly flushed out of the pocket. Going to be a tough throw going that way, and he throws it away wisely over to the Ole Miss bench.
Very wisely, because again, they've got to avoid the negative plays. The negative plays are what have set them back. That time a little stunt on the inside between Bullard and C.C. Jefferson, and Jefferson came unblocked right in the face of Chad Kelly.
Of course, those numbers are through 4 quarters, and we're not through 2 quarters yet, but Florida pitching a shutout so far. Again, an empty backfield. And Wilkins comes out as a wide receiver. Chad Kelly didn't like the looks of the formation or the defense, and he calls timeout. So with exactly 5.5 minutes remaining in the half, Florida 19, Ole Miss nothing. Great touchdown catch earlier. Greer to Marcus Robinson. College Football Saturday, you can put one game on a big screen. You can put another game on a computer, a tablet, or a smartphone. Use Watch ESPN. Just download the app or go to watchespn.com. Great plays today, and we've had some great plays in this one, but it's been all Florida so far. Kelly runs with it, broke a couple of tackles, got to midfield, and got drilled by Caleb Brantley, but he did get 6 yards.
Design quarterback run following the block of Evan Engram. Again, last week Josh Dobbs ran for 136 yards from the quarterback position for Tennessee. and they give themselves, again, another manageable third down situation here at midfield.
But they're not going to make their living with number 10 running the football, that's for sure. There he almost threw one to the opposition. Davis, had he held on to that, it probably would have been a Gator touchdown.
Good protection this time, but better defense. Davis on the underneath coverage, reading the quarterback's eyes and stepped right in front of that football.
He makes all the calls on that defensive side of the football, gets everybody lined in the right spot, and he was definitely lined in the right spot in that pass coverage. The punts, they're caught at the 9-yard line by Antonio Callaway. And with just under 5 to play in the half, let's check in with Adnan Burke.
And Ohio State escaped with a victory against Indiana, but they relied on a historic performance from Ezekiel Elliott. Highlights and analysis coming up from Danny Kanell and Joey Galloway. Back to you, partner.
All right, Adnan, we'll see you guys in 5 minutes. Of course, when Ole Miss beat Alabama a couple of weeks ago, the Tide turned it over 5 times. Tonight, Ole Miss has turned it over once. This guy's been sensational at quarterback, and it's Florida trying to pull the stunner here at the Swamp with a 19-0 lead. Blitz coming. Taylor trying to outrun it on the edge. Did. And a first down. Pickup of about 11. We got a flag down on the far side. Let's see if we've got a holding call on the edge. We do. So that negates a nice 12-yard pickup for Kelvin Taylor.
Well, I think they called it on David Sharp, the tackle.
And that'll back them up inside the 10-yard line. They're going to put it down at the 6.
This is a great opportunity for Ole Miss right here. Doug Nussmeier's probably going to be relatively conservative here with the 19-point lead. Deep in his own territory. Good chance for Ole Miss to get great field position for their offense.
Kelvin Taylor was standing in his own end zone, and the shotgun snap and the handoff didn't get much as we check in with Holly.
Well, this Ole Miss defense is so upset with how they're playing right now. After that last long touchdown that they gave up, guys came to the sideline and were fired up yelling, "That's my bad, my bad." They were communicating on what they did wrong. But the thing that stood out to me was Kendarius Webster went to everybody and said, "That's it. That is enough. We can't give them anything else. Everyone has to take responsibility. No more from anybody." They're trying to get fired up and make a better stand here.
They would love to pick off Will Grier, but I don't know if he's going to put it in the air. He almost put it in the air by a high snap, and now Taylor gets it out across the 10 to the 14-yard line.
It's the biggest play of the game so far right here for Ole Miss. This third down play, if they can get a stop, nice job on second down, converging on Taylor, who's having a very nice football game so far in the first half. But this is the play right here for the Ole Miss defense.
Tell you what, that could have been a good hands play by Will Grier right there. If that snap goes over his head, might be a safety or a touchdown. Instead, gives himself a chance with 3rd and 4. Tight end in motion, Goolsby. Grier looking to him, got it to him, first down. Only got it by about a half yard.
Forward progress is going to get it to him. He was thrown back. He didn't go back on his own. He caught it, got beyond the stick, and then was thrown backwards by C.J. Johnson.
There's his forward progress almost to the 20-yard line, which is plenty of room to pick up the first, and they'll spot it right at the chalk mark of the 20. Jordan Cronkite, a freshman, has come in as the tailback to flank Will Grier in the shotgun.
Ball security, the biggest thing for him right now. Young, talented back, has not played much the last couple weeks.
Grier over the middle to him. Nice spin to get about 4 yards. The tight ends have caught 5 balls here in the first half for Florida. Todd mentioned how big a part of that offense they have become. Goolsby, the last one to make the catch that got him the first down. As we approach the 2-minute mark of the quarter. Ole Miss's defense has been out there a long time.
Well, in the last 2 games, Dave Womack has not been happy with how they've played on 3rd down. They've given up too many conversions, and they've had to play too many plays defensively, and they're having to play a lot of plays in the first half of this game as well.
They gave up 10 first downs on 22 attempts by Vanderbilt last week. And that run is short of the first down by Cronkite. They did get 4 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 2. Maybe even a long one.
This relatively new offensive line for Florida doing a really nice job tonight. The run-pass balance has been good, but that 5 starting group up front really doing a nice job preventing quick penetration and negative plays by this fast Ole Miss defense.
Calvin Taylor back in there now, 3rd down and 2. He's got the first and a bunch more. Popped out the backside all the way to the 41-yard line.
Boy, really nice job by the left tackle and the left guard. Watch these 2 guys on the combo block. They both come off the ball, then they split for the second level. And Taylor does a beautiful job reading it and getting upfield quickly.
Down to a minute in the half. Florida still has their full complement of timeouts. Greer. Boy, they are striking while the iron's hot, aren't they? Demarcus Robinson, another first down, a pickup of 15.
Well, when a quarterback is confident, his vision is excellent. And when his vision is on target, he throws the ball with timing. That was thrown before the receiver came out of the break in the right spot. Will Greer feeling it tonight.
He's hit 8 of his last 9. And has the Gators another first down with 51 seconds to go, and they still have timeouts to work with.
I think before these last couple plays, they would have been happy to just run the clock out and go to the locker room. Now, a chance to be a little bit more aggressive.
Greer, quick throw out in the flat, stepping out of bounds is Antonio Callaway, the freshman. Another 5-yard gain. Callaway had a big game last week in that win over Tennessee. 5 catches. First freshman in 21 years. With a 100-yard-plus gain for the Gators.
Yep, including the game-winning 63-yard touchdown on a 4th and 14 play.
Still 3 Florida timeouts and 48 ticks to work with. They took over this thing at their own 9-yard line with just under 5 minutes to go, and they worked it all the way down to the 38 of Ole Miss. Again, same quick throw out in the flat. Robinson takes a long step and then steps out of bounds with a first down. This is just pitch and catch right now.
Well, Ole Miss is playing off, playing zone coverage, trying to keep everything in front of them, and they're doing a nice job knowing they have the timeouts, just taking what the defense gives them.
As hot as this guy's been at quarterback, I think they might take another shot here.
Well, and what might be open now, they've thrown a couple hitches as a hitch and go. A double move might be good for a big play.
Gonna go down the middle to Taylor. Made one man miss, a second miss. Kelvin Taylor, first down.
And that's a tired defense. Those are missed tackles by the Ole Miss defense because of fatigue here late in the first half. That's the 36th play that Florida has run in the first half against this defense. And they're gassed.
Florida takes its first time out. The fans in a frenzy because they're in scoring range again. With 34 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Celebrating its 11th years tonight so far have come from the guys in the orange.
Keep in mind now, George Powell has never attempted a field goal in a game. He replaced the injured Austin Harden. He made 4 extra points a week ago. He missed his first extra point tonight, but he's never attempted a field goal yet. So that might influence Doug Nussmeier and Jim McElwain here to be aggressive and go to the end zone.
Will Greer has been a hot quarterback, to say the least, on this drive. 6 for 6 to 6 different receivers. And they've got a first down at the 18-yard line. Callaway in motion. Greer out in the flat one more time, this time to Taylor, who got popped out of bounds at the 15. Short gain, stops the clock with 27 seconds left in the half.
And with 2 timeouts still, the whole field's open. You don't have to throw the ball to the sideline to kill the clock with 2. You can work the middle of the field, you can work crossing routes, you can do anything you want, and still have one timeout left if you want to save it for the field goal attempt.
Well, we came to Gainesville earlier this week, and we thought, you know, this might be a good ball game.
Yeah.
I think we thought it would be the other way around right now, maybe.
Yeah, I knew Florida's defense was good, and I also knew that they were embarrassed the way they played last week.
Right.
A lot of missed tackles against Tennessee. Not to take anything away from the effort of the Volunteers, but this is an outstanding Florida defense. For the last couple years, they did not play their best last week, and I think they have really had a point to prove tonight, and they've handled and controlled the game.
We were talking this week about how many fourth downs they picked up late in the Tennessee game, and that's because Greer got himself in some bad situations on the first 3 downs. Tonight, it doesn't matter what down he's throwing on.
No, he's been really special tonight.
2nd and 7 at the 15. He's set to throw again. Down the middle and a strike it is. Callaway, touchdown. They started at their own 9. They worked at the length of the field. Didn't leave Ole Miss any time remaining per se. 20 seconds remaining in the half. A 91-yard march and another Greer touchdown pass.
Boy, what a job by Greer, but an even more impressive job by the offensive line. Watch this protection for Will Greer stepping up in the pocket. First, they're going to block Kimdichie with the tackle right here. Then the guards and the centers are going to handle the twist game on the inside. It's only a 4-man rush, but Florida picks it up beautifully. The quarterback steps up in the pocket and finds the crossing route to his young receiver, Callaway.
And how about the final block by Kelvin Taylor right there? So Ole Miss, the team that came in averaging almost 55 points a game to Florida's 33.5. And the 2-point conversion coming up for the Gators. Will Greer, that is a high quarterback rating right there. 8 for 8 on the last drive.
You know, I think it's us. We go do a game and quarterbacks, they complete a ridiculous percentage.
Right. Grayson Lambert, the Georgia quarterback who struggled today, went 24 of 25 when we had them. Kyle Allen had a pretty good night. And now Greer goes out as Treon Harris, the other quarterback, in. Not going to get there on a 2-point attempt. Nonetheless, 25-0. Gators pitching a shutout so far. Through the first month of the season, the defense of Ole Miss had allowed 6 touchdown passes. Tonight, in the first half, they've given up 4 to that guy.
Well, I just think what he did in the 4th quarter last week gave him such a boost in confidence. And not just him, but the other 10 guys that line up with him out there. They got a new sense of belief in their quarterback, and he has just picked it up and run with it tonight.
This kick should be returnable. It will be from the 4-yard line, Jalen Walton. And Jalen weaves out to the 25. We've been talking about the game last week, Florida and Tennessee. And remarkable 4th quarter. Greer to Brandon Powell, 5-yard touchdown in the 4th. Then Antonio Callaway, as he did just a little while ago. Great move by Callaway and a great block to set him free. Tennessee then missed a 55-yard field goal to end the game in Florida. 28-27, their 11th straight over the balls.
There were people that were leaving the swamp with about 8 minutes left, down 13, and that Florida offense came back.
Nobody's leaving right now. Kelly completes and a first down throw to Stringfellow. And he's still not down. Finally is with about 3 seconds left in the half. And I think timeout is what Hugh Freeze is telling the linesman.
Well, Kelly's got a great arm, and they've got those big, rangy receivers. He wants to stop the clock and maybe have a chance to throw one deep down the field and see if they can make a play on the ball.
A great way for a redshirt freshman.
Well, one of the things they wanted to see him do a better job of was have better pocket presence and not get flushed out so quickly, create more space and time for himself in the pocket. He's done a great job of that tonight.
So one play, barring a defensive penalty, left for Chad Kelly. Going to throw it out in the flat. Akeem Judd. And he gets it to midfield, and that's it. And you're going to hear a roar for the Gators as they head to the locker room. 25-0. Number 25 Florida over number 3 Ole Miss as we send it to the Buick halftime report. Adnan, Joey.